The Gauntlet of Greatness. I'm Randy Buehler, joined as usual by Shadow Datella. How are things, Shadow?
Everything's good.
Things are good. We are in the top 4 of the Gauntlet of Greatness. We're going to be watching Green-White Aggro, also sometimes known as Wilted Abzan, trying to take on the Living End Menace, which has come all the way through the bracket, just winning right and left. We started with 24 decks. We are now down to just 4. Let's take a look at the Living End deck here. At Living End, you've probably seen it by now. This Living End has no mana cost, but you can cascade into it with Demonic Dread or Violent Outburst. The rest of the deck is a bunch of ways to put things into the graveyard. Cycling, blowing up lands with Fulminator Mage, cycling. And it's got a little bit of interactivity, right? There's a couple Beast Withins hiding out here. There's a couple Dismembers, just enough to kind of try to keep the opponent honest. And, you know, a couple Simian Spirit Guides can also sometimes surprise people. The opponent here, the Wilted Abzan deck. So this is the deck Jacob Wilson used to make top 8 of the last Pro Tour. It's a creature deck, right? This is... I'm black, green, white for Siege Rhino, but mostly I'm green, white, so that Wiltleaf Liege can just be awesome, whether I'm discarding it to Liliana or just enhancing all my creatures. This is the best Lingering Souls deck in the format because it's got 3 Gavony Townships, a bunch of mana critters to kind of pump into it. Not much black. The black splash is just the Rhinos and a couple of Thoughtseizes. This is a deck that I feel like has largely faded away from the modern game in the 3 months since the Pro Tour. Abzan Collected Company decks, whether it's Collected Company Combo or Collected Company Elves, I think have replaced it mostly. Also, there's not quite as much Abzan. I think that the Abzan control, this sort of grindy mid-range Abzan deck, that was the deck that had the target on its forehead at the Pro Tour. This was a reaction to it, made the top 8, made our bracket, and you know what? It keeps winning. So we'll see what happens. Maybe the forgotten Wilted Abzan deck, the little kid beatdown deck, can actually make a run and make the finals here. What do you think?
I'm rooting for Living End, obviously. It's been my go-to deck after Lonepox fell and died.
Fair. All right, I am going to play the Wilted Abzan side of the matchup. I'm going to set up a match with, 60-minute clocks. I am hosted and waiting for you, Shadow.
Sure.
I will mute you. We can chat more after the match, assuming you can find the match. Yep, good luck. Let's do it. This is going to be Living End versus Green-White Aggro, the match to see who makes the finals of the Gauntlet of Greatness. This hand looks solid, unspectacular, but I mean, what am I going to do, right? I have a bird into a voice and a Lingering Souls. That's clearly a keeper. I'm definitely worried about this matchup. I'm in particular worried about this matchup in Game 1. I mean, I do have some sideboard cards that are pretty good here. But in Game 1, I'm kind of a dorky creature deck. So we'll do dorky creature deck things. I mean, he obviously has to set up his combo, right? He has to fill up his graveyard. He has to find one of the Cascade spells, but there's like 20-some creatures with cycling. There's like 7 Cascade spells. And there's really not much I can do to stop him. I don't have main deck graveyard hate. I have a couple of Thoughtseizes to potentially grab the Cascade card from his hand. But basically, I think I have to present a clock that forces him to go for it, hope that he doesn't get off a super powerful Living End, and then hope I can recover from it. The Kitchen Finks, with his persist ability, does sort of kind of beat Living End. I think I go Kitchen Finks here. Seems like the most effective way. Because if he Living Ends, then the persist ability actually does bring the Kitchen Finks back. Now, he can kill it with a Beast Within or a Dismember. Kill it once, and then his Living End will sweep the board. But, I mean, what am I going to do, right? I want to create the fastest clock that I can without opening myself up to getting slaughtered. I don't know. I mean, if his draw is good, I just won't be able to recover from a well-timed Living End. got Deadshot Minotaur, Architects at Will so far. Alright, I can play Smiter or I can play Lingering Souls. Don't know if one of those is particularly better than the other. I mean, Smiter hits harder. If we're in the force him to do it, Lingering Souls is easier to recover. I think. I'm just gonna play Smiter. I mean, I'm trying to force him to go for this here. See if we can put enough of a clock that he doesn't get much. I've got a path to kill one of the creatures. I've got a Lingering Souls, which I can both play and flash back. I could have played Voice there. So that when it dies, I get a token back. Maybe I should have played Voice there. It's so much less clock. And next turn, my mana is set up to go Lingering Souls plus Voice. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to play Voice. What you got? He's got 2 Cascade spells in his deck. The Demonic Dread is a sorcery, so he would have to do that main phase. The other one's an instant, so he can go off at instant speed. Alright, here's Dismember killing half my Kitchen Finks. Yeah, maybe I should have done the Voice. Easy to say that now, obviously. I assume there's a living end coming now. Yep. I can kill one of these with Path. I can follow up with Voice plus Lingering Souls. Yeah, I should have played Voice last turn. Because being able to follow up with a 4/4 actually has value as a blocker. So what? I need black mana. I'm going to untap. Am I going to go Voice and Path, or am I going to go Lingering Souls and Path? I'm going to wind up pathing the Jungle Weaver. Yeah, I really wish I had a 4/4 to play here. Okay, I played the wrong creature. I think I'm going to go Voice and Path, which means I don't have to pay 2 life here. Oh, Kitchen Finks. That's a good one. Yeah, Kitchen Finks can actually trade for Architects. So if I'm going to go Finks and Path, which I'm pretty sure I am, then get what? The Swamp? Yeah, I mean, we're only taking 7. Next turn, I have a double block set up with the Voice and the Finks. I'm either going to draw a land or a spell. So I'm either going to have Lingering Souls or a spell. Uh-oh. Blah! That's kind of annoying. But what are you going to do? I can play Voice or Lingering Souls. Voice seems better. So then the question is, do I want to Thoughtseize him? I think the answer is yes. Yeah, what you got going on? He's got a Pale Recluse, which you can hardcast. So at this point, if he living ends, it's just good for me, right? I have Smiter, Finks. I'm about to lose some more creatures, so I think I just want the large monster. All right. I'm gonna have to try to whittle this board down. I can kill the 4/4 or the 3/4, so I should. Yeah, this is what it is. I do get a voice token. He drew a land. Is he going to suspend Living End? Oh, he's going to summon Simian Spirit Guide. Awesome. That's all very hilarious. Well, I have Lingering Souls, and should still have a Forest in my deck, so I can flash back Lingering Souls. 1 life. I have a 5/5. I don't know. Interesting spot. His hand is a Living End and a Cascade spell. Interesting. So if I double block Simian Spirit Guide, then I'm going to lose 2 tokens, and this guy's going to shrink down to a 3/3. So I could kill Spirit Guide plus Minotaur, leaving myself 2 tokens versus an Architect's. Well, if I'm going to do that, I would do 3 tokens on the Architects. I can kill the Architects and the Deadshot Minotaur, and it'll be Simian Spirit Guide against a token. I think that's better than taking 5. And I'll block with all of them so that I can't get wrecked by 1 instant. Alright. Yeah, I'm going to take 2 down to 8. I'm going to have a Spirit versus a Simian Spirit Guide. And I survived the Living Ends. Now I need to draw a creature. I don't think is Living End just good for him again? And I get Smiter, Finks, Voice? I don't know if Living End is actually good for him. It's close. It might be. I mean, it might... It's interesting. Three damage to a creature with flying? The hell? Shoot down my last bird? That's hilarious. Alright. Top deck! Oh, that's not a good top deck. Sad. Alright, 1 last draw phase. Save me, Siege Rhino! Survey says... Ugh. Nope. That's a good game. Living End is victorious. Yeah. Well, I mean, there might have been slightly different paths in terms of forcing him to Living End, but I don't regret how I played it. Now, the Hate, Chalice of the Void, says, Living End? That has a converted mana cost of 0, doesn't it? Yeah, you can't play that. Rule of Law says, Living End? That's the second spell you're playing this turn, thanks to Cascade now, isn't it? I guess you can suspend, tick down, and get one off. Those cards seem great. Relic is good against graveyard stuff, and Thoughtseize is definitely where I want to be trying to take stuff out of his hand, whether it's answers to my hate cards or Cascade spells. Path to Exile does very little against him. Doesn't do anything until after he gets into a creature fight, and I just win creature fights, so don't want the paths. The other two cards is less clear to me. Like, Siege Rhino is a little on the slow side for the way this game plays out, but it's very good. I think maybe I shave one. Card's so good, though. I like Lingering Souls. Definitely like Finks and Voice. It's like the Smiter is just a dorky 4/4, but I do wind up in these creature fights. Pridemate doesn't actually do anything. Maybe it's Pridemate? I like Siege Rhino. Well, I like Smiter too. He's a lot cheaper. Yeah. So few twos, but there's so many ways to skip two. Maybe it's the Pridemage. What if I do this? It doesn't give me any targets for the Pridemage, so I'm going to make sure that I can, if we get into a creature fight, I can win it. So I think I'm going to sideboard it like this. All right, let's see what happens. Can't a keeper. When I get to Thoughtseize him, I don't have a turn 2 play, which is annoying, and I sideboarded some out, which is annoying. I mean, I wish I had a 4th spell to go with 3 lands, I guess. Oh, what are you gonna do? Getting basics because he has Fulminator Mages. What's he got? 2 Beast Withins, a Fulminator Mage, a Cycling Creature. Interesting. Well, I can fend off the Fulminator. I think I might take Beast Within. Yeah, I mean, I can play this with basics, so the Fulminator doesn't do anything. I mean, the Carabid is just a blank card. Yeah, I take Beast Within. My hand's not great. My hand's not exactly fast, though. Two-drop. No two-drop. Sigh. I think it's Windswept Heath and Thin Infinitesimally is slightly better there. Lingering Souls. And he starts cycling. Both of our draws are kind of slow. Drawing land did not help my draw. I mean, I kept 4 land, 3 spell, and I've drawn land. I mean, if I draw a good land, like a Gaffney Township, then okay, I get paid off, but... So I can play Voice and Flashback Lingering Souls, or I can play Siege Rhino. Voice is pretty good against the possibility of Living End, but his Living End's not very good here. And then I wouldn't have anything. If I could use the Living End, then the Voice token isn't very... If I use the Lingering Souls, then the Voice token isn't very good. So I actually think I'm going to play it this way. Yeah, I'm just going to play the Siege Rhino. And now this is enough of a clock that maybe he starts thinking about needing to do stuff. And I have voice plus lingering souls. I don't know. I mean, he hasn't had time to make much of a graveyard. We know he's got Beast Within in his hand, though. Whatever that's worth. Right. Now what? I'm going to play the voice, for sure. I'm not going to play the Rhino. Question is whether I want the Lingering Souls. I think the answer is no. 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 8. And yeah, the Rhino is 9, 10, 11. Great. Yep. This is a lethal clock if he doesn't Living End. And if he does, then I have Voice, Souls, Rhino. I mean, Beast Within messes it up, but what are you going to do? What you got? I like how he has to play Beast Within on his turn now. Do the voice. Yep. Yeah, made him blow it. It's not for huge value. Carabid's gonna crash into my Siege Rhino. I should get a land, right? Or I can just get a forest, right? No reason to play non-basics. Oof. Almost in the nick of time. Interesting. I can Chalice on 3. Which is kind of interesting. I know he has Beast Within in his hand. But then my Lingering Souls doesn't work. I can spend this turn going Lingering Souls plus Siege Rhino, which feels pretty good. The question is, do I Chalice 0? I don't need to Chalice 0 because his graveyard doesn't do anything. Yeah, I think I try to Chalice 3 next turn. I think this works. Weird. I mean, either way, he has enough mana that he can just summon large things and attack me. Like, this guy's a 5/6. It's actually not small. I mean, Carabid just does get eaten by Rhino here, unless he's going to use his Beast Within. Which he probably is. But then, I mean, I've still got blocks available. Yeah, that guy has to attack. Definitely blocking him with Siege Rhino. Yeah, he's going to use his Beast Within. Now the question is, how do I block? Kind of got to leave this guy on defense. I feel like I can trade the elemental token for it. I'm not just going to keep taking 4 forever. I have no creatures in my hand. So, I mean, while I would love to be able to know that I could grow this guy to 5/5 or 6/6, I just don't know that. I'm going to trade. Unless I get wrecked by a Dismember here, don't I? I do get wrecked by a Dismember here. If he had a Dismember, though, he would have let me block and then Dismember, maybe? Alright, we get to trade. Reach is surprisingly relevant here. The fact that I cannot attack with these flyers is kind of annoying. More Fulminator Mages. Alright, well, the Beast is going to hold off your 2/2s, and the threat of me attacking is going to hold off your 5/6. Loxodon Smiter is large. The hell do I do with this Chalice, though? I mean, I can Chalice 0, which shuts off Living End, which he's gone through 1 Cascade spell. I'm not sure I like Chalice 3. I'm certainly not going to Chalice 3 now while I'm holding a Smiter. I mean, Living End is not currently bad for me. Living End is most definitely good for me right now. What on earth? I mean, Living End brings back 2 Siege Rhinos and almost kills him on the spot. And then I have 2 Siege Rhinos versus his Yard, which has nothing. I mean, he can sack his Fulminators. I don't understand what to do with Chalice. Oh, Smiter can't be countered. I could have actually Chalice 3'd and then played Smiter, but I want a 4/4 on the board. Well, Chalice 0 doesn't make any sense here. Chalice 1 does nothing against his deck. What does Chalice 3 actually do for me? There's his Living deck. There's a lot of 3s. It shuts off Dismember and Beast Within. It does effectively shut off Living End by getting all the Cascade spells. Maybe that's worth it? This game's weird. Wow, really? Why is he attacking? Just take it, right? Yeah, my counterattack is amazing. Plus he's got another fatty. But I mean, if I double block and he has a Dismember, he didn't have a Dismember last turn, he would have destroyed me. So I can block with a 4/4 and a 3/3. And if he has a Beast Within? No. Not right now. You want to trade? That's fine. Another Jungle Weaver? Pale Recluse. Also Reach. What's with all the Reach creatures? Jeez. Chalice 3 would allow me to block and feel much safer. Voice of Resurgence is just good. I feel like now it is Chalice 3 time, isn't it? Chalice 3, though, it shuts off. It doesn't shut off my Smiters because they can't be countered. It shuts off future Kitchen Finxes and Lingering Souls. And Lingering Souls are so good. Crazy. Why is my opponent so prepared for the Flyers? He has more Beast Within in his sideboard, right? Or no? Oh, he only has the... Yeah, he's probably on 4 Beast Within right now. What a weird game. I have to start double blocking. this work? Yeah, I'm going to chalice 3. Now he has no instance. And now I just have to hope I can win this creature fight. And that I don't draw Lingering Souls. Reach has been shockingly relevant here. I can totally lose this game to Swamp Walk, too. Oh, Chalice 3 doesn't shut off his living ends, does it? Wow. Sure, Hardcast Ingot Chewer. Because the Cascade part of the Cascade spell will still work. I mean, not that I was opposed to living end, it doesn't matter. He's got the Ingot Chewer, none of this matters. Now what? I'm going to lose the big dumb creature fight? Is that actually a thing that's going to happen here? Alright, I'm double blocking. If you have Dismember, you got me. Dismember owns me. Does not have Dismember. Does not want my creature to go to the graveyard. Hilarious. Skills the 3/3 instead of the 4/4. Oh, that's a good card. Oh my god, I only have 1 white mana. I got all those basics to beat Fulminator Mage. Now I can't play both of these on the same turn. This doesn't really matter. I mean, the Siege Rhino all by itself is enough to make sure that he can never Living End ever again. Because he doesn't have life gain in his deck, so Living Ends, they are now lethal. Still has reach. I still took all the Path to Exiles out of my deck. Oh, very funny. Although now I have 2 flyers, and if I do draw the 4th Siege Rhino, which I don't think I sideboarded out, then I can get in an attack for 1 in the air. Yeah, Living End kills him now, because he has no life gain. And he's got no good attacks. I like our chances, not gonna lie. Can't attack with Siege Rhino, but eventually maybe I can get in an attack. Man, I almost lost the big dorky creature fight. Took Siege Rhino number 3 to rescue me? Oh, Beast with me, sure. Does it as a response to the voice. Kind of wish I'd had a 2nd white mana so that I could play the voice. He would have done it on his turn. Wouldn't matter that much. Living End even more lethal, but now at least he's got the ability to potentially attack into me. Doesn't though. You can't attack into me on this board. Dorky 3/3s. Yes, Ingot Chewer for no value. I will allow it. Monsters. There's no way he's got Gnaw to the Bone in his deck, right? That can't be for this matchup. Does have Gnaw to the Bone in his sideboard, so life gain is possible. But no, he brought in the ability to stop my hate cards, is what he brought in. Can I ever draw Gavany Township? Jeez. 1 Gavany Township. This game is just so over. What's the ground fight situation now? Well, it doesn't really matter. He's got 5 creatures. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got 7 attackers. Yeah, he can't win from there. Cool. On to game 3. I think I'm okay with the way I sideboarded that. I definitely want all the rhinos. I like the voices. Pride Mage would not have done anything relevant. Smiters. This doesn't do anything. Yeah, I don't think I actually want Path. Because I win the big dorky creature fight. I could have a Johnny. to refill with. What would I take out, though? I mean, it's just a faster Gavany Township. It is a threat that doesn't die to Living End. What am I taking out, though? I like the Finks. I think Smiters are good. Yeah, let's just run it. Not a great matchup, but I think we've sideboarded it into a decent matchup. Maybe a Johnny. I mean, there are going to be games where I wish I had a Johnny. There are going to be games where a Johnny would be garbage. Hard to say. Johnny would have been good that game. But that game felt weird. And I won it anyway, so I don't want to win more in the games I'm already winning. Looks like he's contemplating his sideboard plan. Johnny. Maybe Johnny's better than a random Mana Critter? I mean, a lot of the power of the deck is the ability to go Mana Critter into quick 4/4. And then Gavany Township is a lot more the power of the deck. Wow. 5 land and 2 4-drops? I don't think so. I don't think I can keep 5 land and 2 4-drops. On the draw? I don't think I can win with that. Alright, this is better. Recycling games begin. Would love a hate card. It's not a hate card. The only white mana right now is off of Verdant Catacombs, which means it can't be basic. Well, I guess I do have the birds. I mean, I wait on the Catacombs. Moorland, great. I think I get the plains. And yeah, I'm gonna commit this bird. If he doesn't have the ability to set up a quick living end, then I can Gavany Township might get relevant after the Rhino. What are you gonna do? He's up to 3 creatures. Uh-oh. Is he paying life again? No, he paid life for the Overgrown Tomb. Sure. Kills 2 birds, gets back a Minotaur, a Street Wraith, and a Pale Recluse. Tough, but fair. Not nothing. Doesn't actually kill anything here, though. Where were you last turn? You would have come back. Man, it doesn't do anything on this board, does it? I get swamp walked by Street Wraith. Ew. Slaughter Games? He brought in Slaughter Games against me? Graveyard Hand and Library. And he's gonna Slaughter Games my Siege Rhinos. Wow. I guess I deserve that. I can't believe this Living End deck is gonna make the finals. Yeah, this Living End deck is gonna crush me. I'm not even gonna have time to get to Gavany Township. Like, if I had another mana, I could start recursing on this thing. Wow. I think I just gotta soak up some damage. Try to buy myself a draw step. Unbelievable. Siege Rhino would have been so good there. And you go back and watch the other videos for this deck. Shadow has made full use of just a crazy sideboard. He just keeps doing things. Unbelievable. Alright, clearly I play the voice. Maybe I was wrong to chump, because now I can't double block and get the things back. Just felt like I might be spending all my mana this turn. I don't know. Wow. Slaughter games or your Siege Rhinos. I don't know if that's the right way to play this matchup, but it sure as hell is going to beat me here. Hilarious. This Living End deck has just led such a charmed life. Alright, I can double block and kill something, but not the Swamp Walker. Not the 4/5. Basically, I can double block and kill a Deadshot Minotaur. But then I lose my Kitchen Finks. Now I can take 10 and then have Gavany Township online. That is the play. Yeah, that's definitely the play. Keswick Wolf Run is going to make this hard. Crack Catacombs for Forest, because I don't want to draw a Forest. I certainly don't want to draw a Forest. Yeah. I don't like my chances here, not gonna lie. Especially with the Swamp Walker. Wiltleaf Leech. Better than Gavany Township, right? Is it? Gavany Township lets me gain 2 life off the Kitchen Finks when it dies. Voice still can't kill anything. If I Gavany Township, I can block the 4/5 and the 3/4. I can take 7. Oh, but I die with this trigger on the stack, don't I? So that doesn't work. So I have to play Wiltleaf Leech. I also think I just died to the Swamp Walker, don't I? If he just Keswick Wolf Run, does he have X? He can hit me for 3. Yeah, I just died to the Swamp Walker. To play for him to not see killing me with the Swamp Walker. It's a cool match. His Living End deck keeps coming up with tricks. I think he's gonna see it. Yup, that'll do. Cool. Good games.
Good game, sir.
Living End. It
Living
never
End.
loses. You keep coming up with all the craziest sideboard plans too. That's the best part.
Well, Slaughter Games I felt was important because I couldn't Living End last match because you had all the rhinos. So I'm like, well, I have nothing to get rid of rhinos. Oh wait, Slaughter Games. I can get rid of that and get rid of Finks. Like, it's just good time. So I'm like, yeah, if we ever get to a long game, Slaughter Game should be fine. And here, long game is turn 4.
Well, and it's also true that, like, the way my deck is set up after sideboarding, I'm basically playing to turn it into a big dorky creature fight.
Right.
Because I can win a big dorky creature fight. That's what I need to turn that game into. So
not if I remove them.
I think I'd buy it. I think I might buy it. It's definitely worked that game, and it makes sense. Wow. Living End through to the finals. This is crazy. Not what I expected, but it's been fun. Been some really interesting Magic too.
They've been some fun games. Yeah, I mean, that game was a lot of fun. I had a scoop the second game. Like, I tried everything I had, but I ran out of gas.
Yep.
And I'm like, if I had Slaughter games, I would have had more gas. So.
Crazy. Well played.
Good game.